Okay. So today I had the experience of experiencing some resistance. And resistance is whenever you resist and reject what is, right? And it causes suffering. It causes suffering. And I realized that not only does it cause suffering, it's taking away my power, right? So what is resistance? Resistance, you reject something that is actual, and it takes away your focus. It takes away your power. It's you not taking responsibility. It's a form of an excuse even. And you're stuck in the past. You can't fully focus forward. Something is holding you back. Resistance, right? You're suffering over it. You're stuck in it. And so I've come to realize that it's a form of rejecting truth, what is actual, right? So many things. Resistance. It sucks. How today I walked myself through something that I was resisting tremendously. And I came up with this process where I literally I felt this perception of resistance, and I came at it at so many different angles by writing all of my different insights to correct it with I wrote a bunch of different perspectives that healed the situation, like on so many different pages of paper. And whenever I felt the perception of resistance arise, I could soak into just one of those post-it notes. And for that moment that I could focus on that one post-it note, for example, it was um, you know, that this is perfect, that everything makes me more powerful, or different insights that cause healing in that moment of focus. And I could write down several different insights in that one moment of this situation. And I need to give you an example of what the situation is. Let's see. For example, I messed up a project and I failed and I lost the client like $7,000, right? And so I have this haunting perception of I fucked up, and that it would almost come up and block me in my ability to move forward. And so one of the methods of dealing with this resistance is I come up with all these different healing perspectives, empowering perspectives, that when I focus into that perspective, even if it's for that brief moment, I feel empowered. I feel healed. I feel the perception ease, lift, and dissolve. And for the life of me, I would focus elsewhere and start to move throughout my day, and the perception would hit me over the head again. I was like, what? I thought I healed it. Why is it coming back? It's telling me that I fucked up $7,000 and I'll never be able to build my career, and my life is over. But I just told myself that everything is perfect and that I love failure because it helps me to grow. But why can't I hold on to that perspective, right? Well, that's the thing. So what I would do is I would write all the different perspectives on separate little post-it notes. And then throughout the day, when I would get hit over the head with the perception again, I would just go back to my, focus into one of the healing perspectives. And then it would kind of dissolve. And sometimes it would take me like a period of days to heal certain perceptions that felt particularly stuck, but I would heal them with higher perspectives that would see bigger picture, that would be more positive, that would be more empowering, more uplifting, that would try to transform and heal the experience into something that would fuel me forward. But sometimes the perception of messed up and mistake and it's over would be so stuck into my brain and system that it took a lot of ingraining of new perspectives to loosen and heal it up. So that's one method that I would use, or that I do use, to heal resistances or stuck, untrue, suffering perspectives. Another method is that I would go back in time. Okay, so because I'm sharing with you all the methods right now, I'm going to share with you actually, I think it's method 4. So I'd go back in time, and I did this today, where I go back in time into the experience of it happening, and I see that it happened, and I fucking rest in the truth of dude, that fucking happened. And I see the resistance is actually coming from a place of believing that it could be otherwise. And then I realized, fuck, it couldn't have been otherwise. No, literally, actually, truthfully, in the moment, truthfully, it couldn't have been otherwise. And I realized that perception of it could have been otherwise is bullshit, because it wasn't otherwise, and it didn't happen otherwise, and it couldn't have been fucking otherwise. And so that sense of it could have been otherwise, and I made a mistake, that was part of the feeling of the perception that was lingering. That was part of the resistance, was this feeling that if only it was otherwise, then maybe I could be a different person in a different situation now, right? Right? So I go back in time to the moment and I fucking look at it straight in the face and I see that fucking happened. Can I curse? Sorry. That freaking happened. And you know what? It couldn't have been otherwise because it wasn't otherwise. And I can clearly separate my perception of it could have been otherwise. And then I'm like, well, that's bullshit because it wasn't otherwise. And then I feel like a sense of relief and the resistance starting to lift because I just faced the truth that it happened. And I see the beliefs and the thoughts and the wishes of that it didn't happen. And I see, well, that it just doesn't line up. That's bullshit. So that, in a way, if that makes sense, I'm kind of shining a light of truth on my perceptions or my thoughts that don't align with truth. And then the thoughts that don't align with truth just dissolve. It couldn't have been otherwise. It wasn't otherwise. But I do this with love too, because I try to also see myself. That's another method. Shit, there's so many methods. I'm just going to let myself be a stream of consciousness. Hopefully this will make sense. But I do it with love. Like I really see that I did my best and that it was out of ignorance that I did a certain thing and that it wasn't out of like any malicious intent. Like I really was doing my best. And so I have this overlying flavor of just like love, like a loving parent. Like try to love yourself like a loving parent. Like you really did your best. You know, you did the best that you could, and I'm not going to punish you by, you know, haunting you with this regret for the rest of your life. Oh, cool. I thought there were two of you. Oh, cool. You could chat with me. I know there are two of me because there's a mirror. So that's why there's like double the insight. It's really fun. But anyway, is that distracting? I could go like that. That's really funny. No, but so if you heal the perception, like you're a loving parent, you know what I'm saying? Then you can go into it and you're like, you know what? Like it couldn't have been otherwise. Oh, that's true. I was on a stream the other few days ago. Oh, it's good to see you again. I had so much fun. I was like, dude, I have to do this more. I just want to like talk about things that I'm learning. And today I had this theme of just like dealing with massive resistance. Do you know what I mean? And so I had these new insights. I was not high. Oh my God, I was totally not high. That was literally me. I just really am expressive. Yeah, so resistance sucks. So anyway, I was giving like little things that I did today to work through my resistance. Have you ever felt that before? Like where you were like you did something you regretted and you really fucked up and then it like haunted you and you're like, ah, and you can't even focus on your work going forward and you don't even feel like fully powerfully yourself, you know? Yeah. So today what I was doing is I was trying to work through like, how can I get back into my full power? And so one of the ways was I like went back to my past and I saw like, holy shit, like I'm resisting because there's a part of me that believes that it could be other than it was. So I feel like if you really see the truth, you can actually like on a micro level, on a subtle level, see all of your perceptions that are false, that are causing your suffering. Like if you really get subtle with it, you can see like every little perception that is false. And I could really pinpoint it today. And it was really a sense of like that it could have happened other than it happened. But as soon as I came into full like light of the truth that no, that fucking happened. Like I lost that client $7,000. You know, I can't change that. That happened. You know, I can't, and resisting it is futile. Then I had a sense of greater acceptance and it eased up the perception that was haunting me. So that was really fun. Or, well, a breakthrough. I don't know, fun. Pretty much. Yeah. It's good to see you again. Or good to not see you. I can talk to you. So anyways, let's see. What other breakthroughs did I have? Oh, okay. So here's another insight that I had. Tank got smashed. Okay, so another insight that I had. Whatever you resist persists. Oh shit. Did you realize that? Like, I realized that whatever I resist actually persists. So literally the perception, I had this moment, just give me like 5 minutes. I had this moment where I was like experiencing this regret perception and I was afraid of it. I was like trying to rationalize it, trying to be logical about it. And I was really trying to just like avoid it, get rid of it, out rationalize it, logic, just think it away, just be like, this is stupid, I shouldn't even be focused on this. And I realized that the regret just haunted me more, it haunted me more, it haunted me more, and I was just like, ah. And so what I finally did was I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go into the perception of regret. I'm just going to go into the perception of I fucked up and my life is over. I'm just going to stop resisting it and I'm going to go into the experience and I'm going to feel the emotion and I'm going to just be that limited perspective of, you know what, I fucked up and my life is over and I'm not fully powerful. And as soon as I did that, you know, that fear I had going into the perception, it dissolved away. And then I experienced the emotion. And then I like a few minutes later, I looked back and I was like, wait a second. And I couldn't find the haunting regret anymore. It's almost like when I was resisting the regret persisted. But when I fully experienced the regret and was not afraid to even go into it and even emotionally experience the emotion of the regret, it just like passed through me. And then I looked back and I was like, wait, where's the pain? Where's the pain? And I couldn't find the pain because it had just like released itself. And I realized that actually being afraid of the perception that was causing me suffering was actually keeping the perception in place. And this has been happening for like a few days now. And so resistance means action, and continuous action is literally persistence. Yes, literally persistence. Continuous action. Resistance means action. I thought resistance means like you're like rejecting something in your present experience. I think persistence is action. Continuous action is persistence. I agree though that continuous action is persistence. That's actually really good about continuous action. To reject though is still an action. Oh, that's true. Oh, that's true. Resistance is an action. Yeah, you're right. So in a way, like I was continually rejecting persistently. But speaking of persistence, like in my situation where I literally did a commercial that this client poured like $7,000 into and I edited it. And by the end of the commercial, they were like, this isn't what I like. I didn't want this. And I was like, wait, what? And I spent like 3 nights editing it and like, you know, months scripting and shooting and leading in teams. And I was just crushed. And so on that theme of persistence, I just realized, you know what? If my dream is to be a director and to direct like full commercials, comedic commercials, like legit beautiful work, you know, I'm going to be persistent. I am not going to take a failure and let it mean that my dream is over. Like persistence. Oh, I see your connection now. Like if you are persistent, you can get exactly that which you desire and which is meant for you. And so that's where I had actually a shift in perception where before, the day before I was thinking like, oh no, I've lost my dream. I can't be a director anymore. The opportunities won't come my way. And then today I just had this shift where I was like, oh, fuck no. You know what? I'm going to actually study more. I'm going to actually work harder. I'm going to actually learn from my failure. And I'm going to even start running the marathon so that when the opportunities do come my way, I'm going to be ready. You know what I mean? Like persistence, like never give up, never fucking give up. Like anything's possible. And so I like your comment there. You're going to do even better. Like exactly. Like you could, even the biggest fuck ups, like you think that the world is over. Like I feel like those could be even more opportunity for growth. That could be even a bigger lesson that like, you know what, you'll never make that again. You know what I mean? The more is the most beautiful. The more is beautiful. Exactly. That's funny. And so I was like, resisting this experience today. Do you know what I mean? And then I just like broke through it and it feels really good. So I thought I'd make a video on like how we can break through resistance so that we can step back into our full power and then charge towards our dreams again without any obstructions. You know, because the regret is meant to serve a purpose. It's meant to like teach you, hey, like integrate this lesson. Don't do this again. But once you integrate the lesson, stop feeling regret. You know what I mean? Just fucking stop it. You know, it's supposed to teach you, learn the lesson, and use it as fuel to be more powerful. You know, to be even better. Like use it to like grow even more epically, and don't let anyone or anything or any circumstance ever take away your power, because that is like victimhood. You know what I mean? Like we have to take full ownership for our experience all the time. All the time. And regret and resistance is a form of like giving away our power to a circumstance. Like, oh, I fucked up, therefore I'm not this director and my dreams are over. Like, no, not even close. And so I don't know. Go back in time, released, let's see. Yeah. So isn't that funny? So I thought, because I really wanted to capture my different methods of how I worked through my resistance. You know what I mean? Because resistance is like literally suffering. You know, it's suffering and it like gets in the way of you going forward. And sometimes I have perceptions like regrets that haunt me. And so to heal them, yeah, right? I don't know. Wait, what's cool? What did I say that was cool? So I thought one of my ways of healing the resistance was to like come up with healing perspectives and practice those. That was one way. The second way was to experience the regret fully so that I could allow it to pass and to experience the emotion so it didn't get stuck. And then the third way was I went back in time and I saw the truth of it happening, and I healed every single perspective that was like untrue, like that was false. For example, it could have been otherwise. That was the big theme. Also, when you go back in time to that moment and you experience it and you fully see it and you realize, yeah, that fucking happened, you'll see the perceptions that are causing you suffering. So I could see that it was the perception of like it could have been otherwise, and then I could see that it was false. And then I could just, that alone allowed me to step into the perfection of this moment. You know, these are different things that I do in order to work through my regrets and stuff. Hey, welcome viewers. And so once I've worked through the resistance and the regret, only when I am in perfect alignment with the moment as it is, can I then be in my power and work towards my dreams. But I swear to God, if I am resisting the moment, if I am caught up in the past regret, I cannot fully focus on moving forward. You know, you just can't. It's just like it gets in the way, you know? So I figured like I'm working through different methods myself that I can heal the regret. That moment really swings by, at least not often enough. Yeah, exactly. I was Emery tree. Huh. That moment really swings by, at least not often enough. Interesting. Um, yeah, I feel like that, what, the moment of power, do you mean? What do you mean by that? That moment really swings by. I wonder. Oh, I should have my twin sister up again. Here's my twin sister. Like being in the moment kind of thing. Oh, you know what? Yeah, that's true. I feel like that moment's always here though. You know, that moment, this moment is always here. Do you know what I mean? Like we just are distracted or we're caught up in something that's taking our consciousness or our attention. To be in the moment when you need it to get better healing perspective. Yes, to be in the moment when you need it to get better healing from perspective. Yeah, because if you're truly in the moment, like like the past actually can't touch you, right? We need more of that. Yeah, yeah, exactly. If you're fully in the moment, you're like fully healed. Like, I mean, actually, if your perception is in pure beingness of the moment, because the past is a perception, right? Regret is a perception. You know, the world is a fucking perception. Everything is a perception. The actual truth is only pure beingness, which is the moment. And so everything else is actually technically a delusion. Did you know that? And so if you're really in your pure beingness, that is total healing. And it has the ability to like purify delusion and false things that cause us suffering. You know? Yeah, it's totally delusional. It's totally delusional. And so if you rest more in the moment, you can see more clearly your delusion, which is causing you suffering. You know, and there's some function to delusion, I feel sometimes, you know, like, oh, I'm a human. That's technically a delusion, right? But, or the ego or whatnot. But there's some delusions that like just cause us suffering that need to be healed and actually can heal naturally just by resting purely in the moment. And like you said, those healing perspectives bring us closer in alignment to the moment. And it's true because they feel good. Did you know that? Like anything that feels really good means it's closer to being true. I feel like that's just the emotional guidance system. Like anything that inherently feels bad or causes suffering means that it's misaligned with the truth of reality. And the whole point is for us to align more with the truth of reality. Do you know what I mean? And so um, that's my phone. I gotta plug it in. That's entirely the point. Oh, here we go. 15%. Yeah. So if you align with the truth of reality, you're not suffering. You can't possibly suffer when you're aligned with reality. Um, to encapsulate all of that can be easily summarized as it's what, yeah, exactly. It is what it is. But dude, there's so much depth to that, you know? It is what it is. You know, people say that all the time. Well, it is what it is. But there's so much like profundity to that one sentence. Like literally it is what it is. And there only is what it is. It's too deep. It's so deep. People are like, oh, it's just superficial, whatever it is, what it is. Like, no, all there is what it is. And anything other than what it is, oh, look, is delusion. There's my sister again. Why is this phone charging on enough? Oh, there we go. I still have this on my stream service. Yeah, dude. It's so deep. It's so deep because all there is what it is. And so when I'm in pure alignment with what is, I'm not suffering, you know? Are you suffering? Probably not. There we go, that's better. You said it is what it is, except those times it ain't. It's fuck with ya. Nah, I'm alright. I'm too baked right now to suffer. Dude, me too. Sometimes you just have to smoke enough and then you don't even have like space to experience any perceptions that would cause suffering because you're just so high. Sometimes actually my greatest insights have come from smoking marijuana where I can actually see outside and beyond my perceptions and heal them. See if that chord should work. That should work better. Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of the theme that I was exploring is like, how can I break through resistance? How can I break through resistance? And how can I come into pure alignment of this moment? Because whenever I'm resisting the moment, I'm suffering. And then when I'm coming into alignment with it, I'm feeling its perfection and then I can move forward without any obstruction. Because the only thing that ever obstructs me is myself. We think that it's a circumstance. We give our power away to a circumstance, but that's not true. It's only ever us. Like we are completely in charge. Nothing ever stops us except ourselves, you know? Because it's so funny. Like I literally just, I'm back in my full power now, Tank Got Smashed. Like I was feeling weak and I was feeling like I was giving away my power to, oh, I fucked up. And then I just did so many different things. And now I feel perfect in this moment. I feel like there's nothing to resist. And I feel like I don't ever want to resist any one thing. And I want to work towards accepting and integrating everything in my experience and obliterating all the untrue perceptions that it could have been otherwise or whatever. Oh, yeah, for sure. I'll definitely do a dance after this. I think maybe I'll just summarize what we learned and then I'll do a dance. That'll be fun. But, um, yeah, because that's all that I wanted to say, pretty much, was that resistance is rejecting reality and it gives away your power. But then when you come to accept what is, it is what it is. When you fully see what it is and you see your untrue perceptions that resist that or that make excuses for that or think that it could be other than it is, you heal those, you dissolve those, you come into alignment with what is. Um, you practice healing perspectives that empower you, that say, hey, I'm going to learn from this. Hey, I'm stronger now. Hey, this is perfect. Hey, this is the universe giving me exactly what I need to grow even stronger and empower myself even more. You know, in summation, it is what it is. Rejection, resistance are just that. And y'all got to fix that shit. I agree. Y'all got to fix that shit. And then you're in full power. I think that was pretty much what I wanted to say. Yeah. Whenever I try to touch me, feel the perception come. Oh, yeah. And sometimes, one last thing is if you're experiencing a really painful perception, sometimes you just have to go into it. It's like a whole universe that limits itself. Full power. Yes, full power. Exactly, full power. And if you experience like perceptions or regrets, sometimes you just have to go into them and you have to feel them and you have to experience their truth and their emotion, and then it will release and you're fully powerful again. And then now I can do a powerful dance. Let's see. Let's see if my music will work. Right, guys? When you're not resisting, then you can be in your full power and you can go forward. So those were my methods. Those were my methods of dealing with resistance. Yeah,